Hello and welcome, fellow Wasteland survivors. I'm Dean, and I've got something pretty damn awesome that I'd like to show everybody in today's video. This will absolutely blow your mind. It did me when I first saw these builds. Now, I thought I'd seen pretty much most everything that could be done in Fallout 4 settlement building. I've been extremely lucky to know so many great builders in this game. We've traded ideas and inspired each other to build some of the greatest builds ever to be seen in Fallout 4. We've taken this game to levels its creators could have never imagined possible. But what we're about to see will truly show that with a few tips and tricks and getting creative, there is still no end in sight on what we can do, build, or create in Fallout 4. Alright, everybody, take a second and say hello to Easy. He is one of our many newest and awesome members that have recently joined our community. He's extremely active on our nightly streams, along with many others, and we're getting to know everyone very well. He says he's been playing this awesome game of Fallout 4 for a little over 11 months. He's level 266, and he plays on the PlayStation 4. Now, it's only been recently that Easy's joined our Discord community. On Discord, we do encourage our members to show videos and clips on what they're building or doing in Fallout. That way we can give them the recognition that they truly deserve for their hard work and creativity. And this is where I first seen what he is building in his settlements. And it's these awesome vehicles. These things are so good. He's not using any mods to create them, only vanilla and DLC objects. He's also bringing in a few objects from the open world, like these tires. And, when I first met Easy on one of our streams, he would leave a comment every now and then. Oh, I found a clean tire. Oh, I found a dirty tire. And I just kind of thought, man, this cat is weird. Or he's got some kind of tire fetish or something. But once I seen what he was doing with them, yeah, all those comments now make perfect sense. Also, he's using a few tips and tricks that he learned from our good friend Insane Sheklador. Easy also has a YouTube channel himself, and he has a ton of clips of builds and these vehicle builds there. We'll put the link to his channel in the description below. So, if you like what you see, get over there and check him out. It's well worth your time. Now, even though he has a lot of builds, we're only going to have a little bit of time in this video to show off a few of them. So I've picked out some that I thought were really clever, and that's what we're going to see. So let's go ahead and see the very first vehicle that I'd like to showcase for Easy today. The first builds we're going to see are some of his smallest vehicle builds. The reason I'm showing these first is because I wanted to prove the point that it doesn't have to be huge, big, and overly complicated before it looks pretty cool. This particular vehicle probably only has several objects in it, and it still looks awesome. First of all, he's got some mats for the frame. There are some conduits running down the side and around the back. He's got a couple of containers here, one on the front, two military containers on the back to give it a fender look. He's using neon lights to simulate his tail lights and running lights. He's got a couple of pictures or signs, I don't know which, on the sides of the chair. Plus he has some signs in reverse on the sides of his tires. Probably a couple of reasons for that. One, to hide the hole where the rim would be, and the other to help hold the tire up so it doesn't fall over. He's got the Nuka World clock in reverse. That makes it look like the steering wheel. And then he's using a couple of the concrete railings with more conduits to give it a cool cab over look. and then he's added in a barrel. This is probably a vehicle he's hauling water around with. Super clean, super easy, and looks great. The next one is a motorcycle. Now, what I really liked about this build was he used the power cycle with it. And as we all know, settlers will come and use those objects. So it really looks like this is being used by a settler. Now, I just want to dude, settle down, slow down. You're not going anywhere. Take it easy, buddy. This is a very, very clever build. He's added in a logic gate for the front. He's also got Nuka World clocks on the sides to simulate what a rim would look like. Very nice, very awesome, and extremely simple. Now this one's a little more complicated. It's kind of like a trike, or a motorcycle that has a sidecar. First thing I noticed was he's got conduits on the back container with a tire on it, looks like a spare tire. He's got a chair behind the minigun, which is actually setting on a display rack. If somebody sits there, it's going to look like they're manning that minigun. On the front, he's got another logic gate and a feral ghoul trophy, which kind of gives it that post-apocalyptic look. Now, one thing to notice right here is he actually has a rear drive line. The attention to detail on some of these builds is what really makes them extra cool. For somebody like me, I might not have thought about adding in a rear axle, and that's what really made this build, to me, stand out. And it looks good. It's something I would drive in the wasteland. This next build was very, very clever. He has created a surface-to-air missile launcher. It's so simple, but looks awesome. He's just got it on a little trailer that is pulled by another vehicle. He's using mortars on the sides to launch his missiles. And once again, a couple of containers and crates, along with some more neon lights. The idea of this is pretty damn awesome. Also, not only does it look good, but it has a pretty cool animation to it as well. So, if the Brotherhood of Steel or somebody like that is attacking from the air, there we go. We got air defenses as well. This is so sweet. I really, really enjoyed this build. Now, one thing I'd like to mention, because I'm not going to have time to show it in this video, is he did have several other builds with this same thing in mind. Now, he didn't use the mortar launchers, he used other things, like the pitching machines and so on. So, get over there, check him out on his channel so you can see them. One of the ideas he had, I so wished I would have thought of, or knew of, or seen these before I made the legendary farm at County Crossing. It would have been so good to have that added in with my defenses. So I love this one. I love the way the hitch looks, and I thought it was very well done. In this clip, we have another one of his trailer designs. Now, I really enjoyed this one. I think the reason is because there was actually a settler sitting in the chair, and it really looked like these weapons were manned or ready for use. He's got a couple of laser Gatling guns sitting on weapon display racks. There are a couple of weapon display racks on the sides, which give it kind of a cage look. He's got another picture or sign in reverse on the back to add in for extra defenses. This really looks like something that you could pull behind your caravan and you would be protected well from the rear. I enjoyed this one. I thought it was a great idea, and once again, super awesome. Now, in this particular clip, what I'm showing is one of his bigger builds partially completed. So that way you could really get a sense of what he's doing here and the different objects that he's using to give the effects of what the vehicle has. Here we can see there are some barn half walls. There's the big trash bin on the front for the engine compartment and front grille. He's got some doors placed in on the sides. so that anybody that he's hauling has a way to get in, but it's kind of protected. He's got these airplane seats here so that all the military people that he's transporting or whoever have a nice comfortable place to sit. Also, he's going to take a second and sit in the chair for us on the driver's side. Too bad the steering wheel's not in yet. That would have looked pretty cool. And now that we've seen it partially built, let's take a look at it in its completed form. Here is the same vehicle we were just looking at, but it's completed. And with all the little extra details that he's put into it, it does really look like an awesome vehicle. There's a bed in there. He's got conveyor belts, conduits, the upright ones. He's got the wall-mounted shelves on the sides for the fenders. There's so much on this that just really makes this look great. One of the things I noticed when I first saw it was the tapestries on the sides. How many Indiana Jones movies have we seen where they're in these kind of cargo-y vehicles and they've got the tarps and stuff on the side? I really thought that was an awesome idea and an extra additive to this vehicle to make it look awesome. Also, how can we have a cool ride if we don't have a hot chick painted on the sides? So he's got the Nuka girl on the sides of the doors. Like I said, attention to detail really makes these rides stand out. He's using different kinds of lights on the front, more conduits to look like bumpers, and this just really looks super good. And he's going to give us a little tour on the inside of it so we can see it completed. We've got a gun up on top so that we can protect ourselves while we're cruising down the road. And we even got a radio so we can hear some of that sweet 60s music as we're driving. Also, if you didn't notice, there are a couple of miniguns on the sides as well. This vehicle definitely has a great look to it. So well done. Once again, your imagination is the limit. So I hope that you guys and gals try to do something like this. I would really love to see some of the ideas that you come up with. Easy, very good job. And look at those tires. Those are probably the ones he was talking about. Alright, here is another build that is partially completed. I wanted to show this one to you guys because what I liked about this is it has a real tank look to it. And the way that he's done it to get this tank look. He's using cabinets on the sides. He's got tables over the tires to make it look like fenders. And then he's using the gun display racks on the sides. This really has an awesome tank feel and look to it. So that's why I'm wanting to show this one real quick, and then here in a second we'll go see the completed version of this. Even got some conveyor belts on the front. Alright, let's check out the completed version. Now what I really noticed about this build when I first saw it was the way he arranged the electrical conduit piping in a circle to simulate what a barrel would look like. But what really set it off was the lobster trap over the front of it. That is such a great idea because a lot of those tanks back in the day had different types of end barrels on the end of the barrel. So I thought that was such a good idea. He's added in some more laser defenses on the side. He's got a missile launcher up on top that's encased in containers and shelves. He's got a couple of pictures in reverse in front of that to protect it so that it doesn't get damaged while they're in battle. This really looks awesome. I don't even know what to say. I just can't say enough about these builds. The amount of time it took to design them is one thing, but to come up with the ideas on how to do it is another. And this vehicle here is a great example of what I mean. The way that he's placed these objects together, this vehicle really looks like a Hummer. He's got the weapon rack on the front, the conduits going across the front of that, looks kind of like a cow catcher, and it just has a very huge Hummer feel to it. He's using the large trash bins for the front and the back, but also one thing I wanted to point out is look at the underneath of this trash bin. He's actually got a transfer box and side, he's using like the footstools from the modern chairs to look like the brake assemblies or whatever going into the rear tires. Also, another thing I thought was impressive right here, he's got the wall-mounted containers in reverse on the sides, but he has wall-mounted shelves connected to those, which really look like running boards, something you could step up on to get into the vehicle. He's got defenses on the top, and because we don't have LED lights, he's using the track lighting up there, which really lights up the front of this vehicle. And when you're cruising a vehicle like this around, you want it well lit up, so that way you know what and who you're going to be running over. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, bigger is better. Well, he's got you covered on that too. Here is what I'm calling a mobile command center. This thing is so awesome. When I first saw it, my first instincts were, Star Wars. I thought a little GTA. I mean, the amount of emotions that I was feeling when I saw this for the first time were numerous. It's got a settler recruitment beacon up in the front, so it looks like radar dishes. He's got a flag there, so we definitely know who he's sided with. It's got defenses up on top, and this was really sweet. He's even got a trailer hitch. That way he can pull any of those trailer mounted things that we saw earlier. Also, I don't know if you noticed, there were generators sticking out the back, so it looked like mufflers. Also in the front, he's got a round container with a laser turret in it, and just so many objects that just really gives this vehicle an awesome look. Also, I just love the super mutant hound on the front. That's almost like a Borderlands thing, when they run over it, then they got it stuck to the grill. When we go up inside, it's pretty sweet in here as well. He's got the little center where they might issue their commands out to the forces in the field, and he's just used a workbench and one of the computers there. Like I said, there's some generators, two of the small generators behind that, so they stick out the back. They look like mufflers. Now, what I was really impressed with was this area that we're going into now. Not only does he have a great selection of weapons, so when you arrive on the site, you've got plenty to choose from, but look at this cockpit, ladies and gentlemen. This is so good. He's got Vault-Tec signs in reverse, logic gates, TV, there's a biohazard or whatever thing there. I mean, it's got a lot going on here, and it looks so good. And I just love this build. And just because we've seen a lot of vehicle builds today, that doesn't mean he hasn't got a badass Navy as well. Now, this is one of a few different water-based builds that I saw on his channel, and I thought you all would like this one. It is pretty sweet. It's got a lot of objects that you just wouldn't think about using in a project like this. He's got the robot workbench, the computer sticking on the inside. You can see the rest of the workbench on the outside there, which gives it another cool effect in between the fan generators. On this side is where the captain would stand and look at whatever it is that a captain looks at when they're out on the ocean. I really enjoyed these videos, ladies and gentlemen. They gave me so many great ideas, and I'm going to steal a few of them. Also, I'd like to thank Easy for letting me and giving me the privilege of showing these builds off. They really are sweet, and I hope you all enjoyed them as much as I did. Also, please, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget the link to Easy's YouTube channel is in the description below. Please go over, check out more of his videos, sub to his channel, and leave him a few comments on what you thought about his builds. There might be something in there that inspired you as well. Alright everybody, thank you all very much for hanging out with me today. I do appreciate it. And just like always, until next time, please stay safe and peace.